Hi, Dave Williams here, and welcome to this week's Weekly Wisdom. So I hope I'm finding you well, and I hope you've had a great week since the last time that one of these came out. So for today, I'm going to be talking about what are you feeding yourself? That may well seem a bit surreal, Dave, well, what are you on about? What am I feeding myself? And I'm not on about the food that you consume. I'm on about what you're feeding up here. See, the reality is there's so much going on in life at this moment in time, but the thing is, so many things that are actually out in the ether that we get access to is negative, isn't it? When you think about it, look, if you go on social media, there's, you get positive posts or whatever, and then normally there is someone there that's having a go. What's that about? Yeah, the reality is they're in a poor state. But people actually seem that it's okay to have a go at other people when they're not feeling good to try and bring other people down. Well, there's no consequence, is there? Realistically. And we see that more and more when it actually comes to racism, sexism, all of those different things. But it can all have an impact on us. And most people actually watch mainstream news. Now, are they there just to actually share the gospel and everything? No. At the end of the day, they're a business. And that business depends on whether it's commercial or indeed whether it's satellite or whether it's terrestrial or whatever it is. Obviously, it depends on which part of the world that you're in. They're governed by ratings. So the higher their ratings, the better that they are doing. But if you, like the vast majority of people, are actually just consuming this stuff, are you feeding yourself in the right way? See, if you don't believe me as far as ratings are concerned, look, CNN in America, when Donald Trump was president, they had the highest ratings ever. Soon as Donald Trump was not president anymore, their ratings dropped by 75%. So they had to look at different methods to get their ratings increased. And I'm not just picking on CNN, that's just one particular example that I'm aware of. But the thing is, they are there to trigger you. That may well sound, such an enhanced statement, if you will, but they are. See, they know what triggers you. See, as far as human beings are concerned, our default state, if you will, is survival mode. And we do whatever we can to make sure that we do survive. And so many of the headlines, have you noticed that, there is trigger comments. Why? Because it appeals to your survival brain. And because they do that, it increases their ratings, it gets more readership, whatever it is, but it gets people to actually be in fear. And then what do people do? They go and watch TV and Netflix or whatever it is. Other channels are available. Yes, I know. Okay. And they feed themselves with more stuff as well. Some of it good, some of it not so good. But the reality is, if it's the not so good stuff, then we're fueling, that fear element as well. And then that then comes out most of the time unwittingly, but in our behaviors when we're actually working with working professionally or interacting with our personal lives or whatever it is. See, that's the most important part of your body. And it's so important that we actually feed ourselves the right way. So let me ask you a question. So what is it you're reading at the moment, or indeed listening to, that's enhancing your mindset? Yeah, most people will actually say, yeah, it is the news, or it is this particular series on such and such a channel or whatever. Okay. But might I suggest here that you spend at least 30 minutes a day either reading something that's going to be empowering for you, or listening to a podcast or something along those lines that is also going to be empowering to you. Because it gets dangerous as far as when we go down the route of being in a negative state all the time, because we then start existing instead of living. And from my experience, it's a case of basically everyone that I've come across, either directly, indirectly, and the wonderful people I've had the pleasure of actually working with, people want to be happy. But if you're being dragged down over this side, it's very difficult to actually be happy. Many people fake it, and I'm sure you've heard the term fake it until you make it, okay? See the reality that they put on this front and ta-da, it's showtime. But the reality is they're actually still feeling pretty poor. So wouldn't it make sense to change that and start feeding ourselves the right sort of thing? Yeah? So you may well be thinking, it's all very well, Dave, you saying this and everything, so what are you doing at the moment? And that'd be a very valid question. Now, just going to share something with you now. I'm not on commission or anything along those lines, but that's what I'm reading at the moment. Yeah, okay, so it's Mel Robbins, The 5-Second Rule. Now, I know Mel's stuff, and yeah, I've fed my mind with it 2-3 years ago, I guess. But it was the first time I had the opportunity to get the book, and it took a while to arrive, I can assure you. I know the principle, I just want to know the theory behind it as well, because does it work? Most definitely. And Mel shares an awful lot of that particular stuff online, so you can get it for free. So what are you feeding your mind with? Because at the end of the day, look, our life is our life, and it's down to us to make the best of it. The governments aren't going to help you, your news channels aren't going to help you, your media channels aren't going to help you under normal circumstances. So it's what we do as individuals that's going to have an impact for us. And ultimately, I care about you. Yeah, we may never meet, but I still care about you, and I want the best for you that you can possibly get. So feed yourself the right information, the stuff that's going to enhance you, to make you feel better, to give you additional skills to enhance your lives. So as I draw this one to a close, I get passionate about what I do for the simple reason, like I said, I do care about people so much, and I hate people not being the best that they can be. Because I'm a firm believer that everyone has actually got gifts to share. But sometimes we just get wrapped up in other stuff that we don't get to share those gifts. So I hope you've got some value from this. And look, if you've liked it and you know other people that you feel might benefit from this, then by all means share it. Yeah, share it, share away. All right, and by all means, put some comments below the video that we've actually got here. And I'll make sure that I read all the comments, and all being well, I'll get to reply to them all as well. But like I say, as I draw this one to a close, look, no matter where you are, whatever you're doing, have a fantastic day. Keep on being special. And I look forward to catching up with you again soon. All right, take care now.